Good morning, evening, or night, wherever you are. Welcome to WHAM today. Take a deep breath, clear your mind, and let's drift through the whispers of today's world, one quiet thought at a time, as we wrap up Sunday, 20th April 2025. Let's see what stories are unfolding around us. China is experiencing a downturn in luxury goods consumption due to falling property values and trade war anxieties, prompting the government to expedite budgetary allocations to offset tariff effects. The country is also heavily investing in robotics, notably through the state-supported X-Humanoid project, aiming to rival Google's Android platform in humanoid robot technology. China is further challenging Western dominance in aircraft manufacturing with its wide-body airliner program, spearheaded by designer Zhao Xunling since 2023. Liang Wenfeng, the founder of DeepSeek, is recognized as a prominent figure in China's rapidly advancing AI sector. Turning to Cambodia, a significant $120 billion agreement has been formalized with China to construct a canal linking the Mekong River near Phnom Penh to a Gulf of Thailand port, intended to boost trade but raising environmental questions. In Nepal, the China-funded Pokhara Airport, built with a $216 million Chinese loan, faces underutilization with only one international flight per week, and a Nepali inquiry revealed corruption involving lawmakers and officials who neglected irregularities during the project's progression. The United States has introduced fees for Chinese ships to stimulate domestic shipbuilding, intending to counter China's dominance in the sector, a move that critics fear will increase costs for American consumers. India's HDFC Bank announced a 6.7% rise in net profit to 17,616 crore, coupled with a dividend of 22 per share. Yes, Bank and HDFC Bank are set to release their Q4 results. The central banker cautioned about decreasing liquidity in the money market. India's Sensex and Nifty 50 surged following Trump's tariff pause, with the Nifty 50 gaining 1,450 points. FPIs invested approximately 500 crore into Indian equities. Ukraine experienced ongoing conflict despite a declared 30-hour Easter ceasefire by Vladimir Putin. The ceasefire was scheduled from Saturday evening to Sunday midnight Moscow time. President Zelensky reported continued Russian drone attacks during this period. Crude oil prices marked their first weekly gain in 3 weeks, as both Brent and WTI rose by 5%, responding to US-EU trade talks and sanctions affecting Iran. Despite this market recovery, a potential US recession and the looming expiration of a tariff pause inject uncertainty into the business environment, prompting expert advice on navigating investment strategies. China's Sanya, a popular beach resort, has experienced an 11-fold surge in Russian tourist arrivals in the last year, facilitated by China's visa-free policies. Turning to international relations, the US and Iran have concluded a second round of mediated discussions concerning nuclear matters. In other diplomatic news, the US is reportedly considering recognizing Crimea as Russian territory within a potential agreement related to Ukraine. Former President Trump has stated the US would not intervene if Russia or Ukraine rejected such a deal. The United States has resumed talks with Iran in Rome, focusing on Iran's rapidly advancing nuclear capabilities. These discussions represent a critical effort to address growing international concerns. Shifting focus, in the United Kingdom, the government is facing increasing pressure to address the rising cost of living. Inflation is impacting households across the nation. The United States Supreme Court intervened, temporarily halting the Trump administration's efforts to deport Venezuelan migrants detained in Texas. This action specifically prevents deportations under a wartime law, signaling judicial scrutiny of the administration's immigration policies. Shifting to Canada, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced new measures to address rising inflation. These include targeted financial aid for low-income families and investments in affordable housing projects. The government aims to ease the burden on vulnerable populations amidst economic challenges. Meanwhile, in France, President Emmanuel Macron is facing renewed protests over pension reforms. Demonstrations have intensified across major cities. Labor unions are demanding the withdrawal of the legislation which raises the retirement age. Turning our attention to China, the government has unveiled a new 5-year plan focused on technological innovation. The plan prioritizes investments in artificial intelligence, semiconductors, and green energy. This initiative aims to enhance China's global competitiveness in key sectors. Across the globe in Brazil, President Lula da Silva is working to strengthen environmental protections in the Amazon rainforest. New policies are being implemented to combat deforestation and illegal mining activities. International cooperation is crucial to the success of these efforts. I understand the instructions. I will analyze the provided text, which is currently only 2 sentences about an NPR colleague, identify relevant entities or countries, and then consolidate and refactor the information as described, ensuring clarity, comprehensiveness, and a focus on governance, international relations, major policies, and societal trends. Since the only information provided relates to an NPR colleague and Planet Money's experiment with egg distribution, and this doesn't fall under the scope of governance, international relations, major policies, or societal trends, it should be excluded. The focus should remain on items that have a significant geopolitical, economic, or policy impact. Therefore, the output will be no output, as the provided text does not meet the inclusion criteria. Italy is considering allowing Unicredit to acquire Banco BPM, pending specific regulatory approvals and conditions designed to safeguard market competition and financial stability. The nation also aims to restore its pre-pandemic credit rating with DBRs, reflecting confidence in its economic recovery and fiscal management strategies. Israel has kept the option of military action against Iran's nuclear sites on the table. This underscores ongoing tensions in the region and Israel's security concerns regarding Iran's nuclear program. Greece has seen its credit rating improved by S&P, a reflection of the nation's robust economic performance and effective fiscal policies. The upgrade signals increased investor confidence in the Greek economy. Turkey's automotive manufacturer, Tofaş, intends to invest €256 million in developing a new light vehicle model. This investment aims to bolster Turkey's automotive industry and expand its production capabilities. And that's a wrap for today's news, because even headlines need a nap. Stay curious, stay kind, and let the noise fade as you find your quiet. Take care, stay awesome, and I'll see you next time on WHAM Today.